Hello.
Hi there.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'll be your host for today's call. Hey, Steve.
Yay!
Oh,
You can do it.
Yes, I feel more confident as each week goes by.
Hmm.
Hello, Wayne. Welcome to the call.
Hi,
And
thanks so much.
Rain, we're gonna dive in just a minute. I actually have some like thought prompts prepared today so we can do a bit of reflecting for where we're at on our AI journey. So I'm excited to share those with you. It'll be a little bit different than what we normally go through today. Mhm. Hey, Kim, Sherry, welcome.
What's that yellow thing on your shirt? You
What
got a
is it?
stain? You got a stain over there? What is that?
I don't see anything. Is it on my face?
no,
No,
you're talking about
Michigan.
me.
Michigan.
I was like, what? I don't see what you're talking about.
No,
You're
talking
fine.
about me. I'm a little casual today. So
I'm just teasing her, that's all.
I'm just celebrating Michigan beating Ohio State in basketball last night.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kick things off and share my screen to get started. Okay, so in the community this week, I just want to go over, well, first off, my name is Megan Monique. I am the community coordinator here at Chief AI Officer, and we are streaming live in all of the places. So if you're a new member here, or if you're in a trial period, or if you're watching this from one of our social media platforms, welcome. Normally on this call, we review a Smart Cut tool, and then there's a presenter who demonstrates how that tool works. But today's call is going to be just a little bit different. I'm going to give you guys more of a community tour and how to make the most out of the space and the classes that are here. And then if we have any questions or anybody who is more along the lines of our alumni would like to share anything, you guys are more than welcome to. So stick along for the tour. We'll also have an opportunity to kind of reflect on where you're at in your AI journey, any places that you're getting stuck, and kind of what your goals are as you're moving forward inside of this world. So underneath announcements, I have a new post for this week. You can look forward to this post every Monday. It's just going to be a foreshadowing of what you can expect in the week ahead. So right now we're in the AI powered productivity tools and techniques call. And then there's a link to RSVP for each one. So make sure that if you're in the community and you see an event or a class that you want to attend, that you do RSVP. If you do that, you'll get a notification a day before the class is going to begin, and then an hour before the class is going to begin. So it just makes it easy for you to remember what's going on and when to join. There will not be an AI governance class tonight.
Hey,
So you have,
Megan,
yeah,
you might want to update the events calendar. That still shows there, or it did 5 minutes ago.
I deleted it last night, unless I did the wrong one for the AI governance.
Yeah, I thought I saw it on there. I could be wrong.
I'll check too, and if it is, I'll take it off.
I'll check while you're doing your thing. Sorry.
It's okay. Um, Normally on Monday nights we do have an AI governance class. Coming in March, our schedule might be changing just a little bit, so make sure that you keep your eyes on the classes because we're going to be shifting some things around.
No, it's
On
gone.
okay, cool. Maybe you were seeing the one for next week because right now next week will still be happening.
Hmm.
Um, On Tuesdays, we have prompting essentials with Segovia, our COO. This is a good class. The first half, normally community members are sharing or asking questions. It's a good place to hear the kind of movements that people are creating in their business or inside of their jobs with AI tools. And then the second half of the class is usually a prompting demonstration. So you get a little bit of community interaction, and then you also get a tour of how to use different tools and how to make the most out of your prompting styles when using different AI softwares. On Wednesday, For February, Wayne Clayton is the one who leads this class. Um, he leads the AI Consulting Business Blueprint. And in February, he's going over the story brand framework. So this is week 3. And if you visit this post, I did link the first 2 weeks so that you can watch them. But they're really deep diving into your business brand, your business messaging, your positioning in the marketplace, and how to clearly display who you are and the work that you're doing in the AI world so that when people visit your website or they reach out to you, it's easy to understand the services that you provide. And there is a book called The Story Brand Framework. I can't remember who the author is, so if somebody here remembers, drop that in the chat for us. But that's the book that they're following along for that class. So this week is the 3rd week that they'll be diving into. And there is homework for each class. So if you're planning to attend this Wednesday, make sure that you did your homework from last week. On Thursdays, the author is Donald Miller. Thank you, Wayne. On Thursdays, we have a workflow automation class. Right now, that's led by Chris Lannon, and it has been, but this Thursday is going to be Chris's very last class. So make sure you attend, give him a happy sign off, and I'm sure he'll still be around the community. He just has a new job that requires him to be it'll be more in the office, so he won't be able to lead that class anymore, which is why we're having a schedule change starting in March. So we're still working out what that's going to look like, but we will update you guys as soon as we know. So that is Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the workflow automation class. And then on Fridays, Lee Pomerantz, our CMO, leads a class, and it's one of I like all of our classes, but I don't know if it's just because it's on Friday or because of what he goes over in that class, but that's one of the most fun classes for me. We announce new students that we have coming into the Chief AI Officer certification program. We announce our graduates and celebrate them. And then at the end of the call, we dive into AI news. So there's a whole segment where Lee highlights not everything because it would be impossible to cover, but the highlights of what's happening in the AI world. And it's always a compelling segment. And then this is another place too, where the community has the opportunity to raise their hand and celebrate their wins and achievements and the movements that they're making out there in the world. This last Friday, there was a lot. There was a lot of you guys sharing a lot of wins that were happening, a lot of moves being made. And it's always so fun and encouraging to hear what you guys are doing. And I think as everybody's at different stages of their process in utilizing their certification and AI knowledge, being surrounded by people who are putting themselves out there and networking and seizing opportunities, and also being surprised by the opportunities that find them, it's necessary to maintain momentum and encouragement as you're pursuing this path. So the Friday calls are awesome if you're able to attend those. And if you aren't, we have a VIP video vault that you can visit, and all the recordings of our classes are shared here, along with an AI summary of the notes of what we go over and timestamps of when you can find specific conversations. So don't ever feel like you have to miss out if you can't attend something live. And you can also use these searches up here to filter through what's here. So the AI tools is on Monday, the CAIO live is on Friday, consulting is Wednesday, prompting is Tuesday, workflows are Thursday, and the governance call is on Monday. So any questions about our class schedule this coming week, or how to best utilize what we have available? Everybody good? Okay, awesome. Steve, you came off mute. No.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask where Chris went, but that's all right. I'll ask him.
It's a job with a new casino.
Oh, cool.
So it still is in a casino. It's just not the same one that he was with.
Good for him.
I think the difference was one company was not embracing AI and in fact like pushing it out, and the newer company is embracing it. So obviously he felt more like he had a place there for that one.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. we're sad to see him go, but I'm hopeful that as he integrates into that new position, you know, he'll have more time open up later on to circle back around. We shall see, but we'll have some engaging classes to fill that spot. We're still in communication about what that's going to look like, so I don't want to give away any spoilers until it's solidified. Okay. Also know that up here at the top of the search bar, you can click events and you can see our full schedule. So this will give you an overview of all the classes. And whenever you click these events and click learn more, it'll show you a full description of the event. And you can do, I've already RSVP'd to this, but you can RSVP right here on this button. And that way you'll get notifications and then you can join the class straight from here. Probably like most of you did for today. So if you're in the trial or if you're joining us for free on Mondays and Fridays, these classes are available to you. But the AI governance and the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday classes are all a part of the AI Insider membership. So make sure that if you want to take full advantage of the schedule, that you are an AI Insider. I want to mention the podcast that we have. So this is another free resource that's available to you. There's a new episode out every week, and I will drop this link in the chat for us. But super valuable conversations happening around AI and using AI at work. This week's episode was around custom co-pilots with Mike Alton. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do that and dive into that episode. The other thing is the challenge. So every week we have a challenge. Right now it's led by Adam Lyons. And this is another free resource that's available to you guys, but the concepts that he's introducing, the softwares that he's bringing to the conversation, the energy that he brings to this conversation is very fresh and new. So it's a little bit like tune in this week to see what you're going to learn, because you never know. But it's always helpful with where you're at, and it's always engaging, and you will learn something new whenever you attend these. So if you click that link I just dropped, you can register there for the challenge that we have. The next one's coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we have an affiliate program. I'm just going through all of our resources here. Our affiliate program allows you to make 30% commission off of anyone who signs up for the Chief AI Officer Certification Program. So if you are looking to become a CAIO and you'd like to fund your program, you can also enroll other people and practically pay for it with just a few signups. So take advantage of that. Once they sign up, you promote the challenge, and then your link is cookied so that anybody who comes through our system will be connected to you, and you will get credit and money for having them sign up for the program. And then, so these are the smart cuts. What this is like a PDF that you download, and it takes you through step by step how to use the tools. The smart cuts are normally what we review in this call. And then once the host does an overview of the smart cut, they dive deeper into the tool. But you can sign up for our smart cut library for free. And you can browse what we have there, because there is likely a smart cut for whatever tool you're trying to use that is AI related. So even developing your ICP and persona for your customer avatar using Gemini. We have tools for ChatGPT. We have, I don't know if any of you are using Fathom as a note taker that's connected to your Zoom account, but Fathom is a fantastic tool to create transcriptions and meeting summaries and action. It captures the action items that are discussed in the meeting. It's very accurate and very powerful. So check out the smart cuts when you can. And then Prompt Vault Studio, this is the last one I'm going to show you guys. I'm throwing a bunch of links at you. Tomorrow on Tuesday's call, Prompt Vault Studio is what Segovia uses in cahoots with whatever he's demonstrating for you guys. But it's a tool. You will get some free credits whenever you sign up, and then there are paid levels to Prompt Vault Studio, and it essentially provides you with prompts that you fill in the blank with what's relevant to whatever you're trying to use. Sorry about that. So many free resources that you can download and take advantage of to help you navigate the AI world. Do we have any questions? Anything anybody would like to ask before we move forward?
Don't be shy.
All righty. Curtis, you're too quiet. What's happening over there? I've never heard you be this quiet before.
Gotta give some of the other folks a chance. Like Wayne looks like he's chomping at the bit there. Can tell he's winding up a big question.
Oh, you guys.
Wayne is still too new to know what to ask yet.
That is okay. That is okay.
Well, for the new ones, I'm known to ask questions, but the bigger question is you guys are the ones that really need to ask the questions because we're all in different stages of this journey, as Megan's saying, and we've had our fun and our adventures, and some of what they try to do in this forum is to give you an opportunity to not talk about just the tech part, but also like what's going on in your head. Steve is really good about that. In other words, psychology of even diving in the AI pool, so to speak. It's not as shallow as we
We've
think.
all been there. We've all been where you are.
Yeah.
And
And look how happy we
still
are, right?
are. And sometimes I fall right back in it. It's just, whatever.
It's like a teetering between both places. It's like you move forward and gain knowledge and you go out and practice it, and then you go back into that space of thought and consideration and sifting through, okay, what's working, what's not, how do I refine this, what do I need to let go of, what am I keeping in my toolbox? It's a cycle.
Yeah.
So Wayne, now you got good questions to ask. What's next?
Okay. So if you are a new member here and you're still figuring things out, definitely click on this new members tab over here and check out this first post. This is a tutorial video for me, and it walks you through every aspect of the community that's here so you can learn to make the most of it. Even if you are like you signed up for your certification and that's your main point of focus, don't think that you have to keep tunnel vision with the course by itself. Definitely take advantage of these daily classes because, as the guys were mentioning, you can absorb all of the knowledge and you can gain all the tools and learn how to use them. But you're going to come up against some mental blocks. You're going to come up against some questions that you don't have the answers to. And that's where the classes and the community really come in handy, where you can ask the question out loud and get support from somebody who's already walked down that path a little bit or had some experience in that area. There are so many people here with such a diverse background. Everybody's coming from a different place. We all have different experience, all have a different set of knowledge, all interested in AI. So I can't emphasize that enough, that either attend the classes, ask questions when they come up, and also there's a questions and feedback area over here where you can post whatever questions that you have. And either myself, Chris Daigle, Segovia, or one of our fellows or chief AI officers will reply to you if you ask the question and we have the answer. So you do not have to navigate anything alone. And then we also have a weekly wins area. So if you are making moves like Dawn, she was at a grand opening for her niece's boutique, but the Chamber of Commerce was there. And so she made a connection there, and now she might lead a training for the Chamber of Commerce, and she doesn't know, what opportunities are going to open up from that. So any kind of wins, big and small, you can share in this area as well as on our classes. We also have an AI news and update section. So if you happen to be in the online world and you come across an article or a video or a tool that you feel like may be helpful to the community, you're more than welcome to come here and create a new post And this will allow you to share the article with us. The only thing that we ask is that you be considerate in what you're sharing. You don't have to, we don't want it to be a place of spam where you're just sharing just for the sake of sharing. We want you to make sure that you're being considerate of the information, make sure that it's relevant to the community, and also be sure to add your own thoughts and experience on why you felt called to share that with us. But there's a lot of engaging articles in here, and many of our members share daily. So be sure to check that out. The other thing that you guys have to look forward to is we're going to be bringing a couple of new tabs inside of the community. One is a conversation that's going to give you guys the opportunity to network with each other, connect with each other, and work on projects outside of the classes and outside of the community. So there will be that. And then many of you guys are building custom GPTs and other softwares and tools. And so we'll also have a section that will allow you guys to share those so that it can be a collaboration and a brainstorming space as we're testing new tools and things that we're building. So new improvements are coming down the line. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to my thought prompts for today. So you guys can answer these in the chat. You can come off of mute or raise your hand. Or if you have a document or journal that you want to write them down, and you're more than welcome to. But the first question is, what AI tools or strategies have had the biggest impact on your work recently? In the last couple of weeks or month, which tools have been
All of them.
most impactful?
Can you say all of them?
You can, yeah.
Like I stack. So ChatGPT, Perplexity to ChatGPT, back over to Gamma, then back to ChatGPT I can explain the process, but so I guess Chat, Perplexity, and Gamma.
Yeah, a combination of all of them.
Yeah, now I'm really starting to dig into even more 11 Labs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using the AI agent that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to create the front end to my chat bot. That's my next trick.
That's awesome.
If it works. It's all good.
Yeah. Sherry agrees with you, Steve. And Carrie said Perplexity, ChatGPT, HeyGen, and LM Notebook.
Oh yeah, I use HeyGen too.
Yeah. Vond. I haven't heard of that one yet, Elmer. Have you guys heard of that? VYOND?
No.
We'll have to check that out.
Now we got to go and learn a new tool.
New tools. Curtis, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I think this is more for the new people. I keep seeing the mastery of prompting is irrespective of what tool. It seems to be kind of a foundational
Yeah.
skill. I guess for any of the new folks that are trying to sort through all the hundreds of tools that undo the work you thought you just got done the week before. There's so many tools that you can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And
that will always be the case.
what's that?
That will always be the case. They're
Yeah.
gonna
And it doesn't matter if you talk to a seasoned person or a new person, they all kind of say the same thing. They're trying to keep up. But I think I just continue to see the prompting. And in particular, I've noticed one thing about ChatGPT. I've been asking for some very significant like user journeys, workflows, and I've been shocked. It's actually taking like hours, and I periodically am asking like, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's telling me where it's at, and it's explaining that unlike before, it's got the reasoning skill to or capability to actually take what you've asked and kind of drill down into much more substantial details. So I guess moral of the story is prompt engineering is still front runner, probably the most important skill, irrespective of the tool, because each tool also seems to leverage how you ask questions. So for any of the new people that are trying to get their head around it, that's probably a good foundational skill.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I know Kim is seasoned and Wayne has just joined. He got bored. He decided to join us and add some wisdom too. So that's all I've got. And I would add though, wow, I have to tell you, wow. I mean, just some of the stuff that I'm seeing coming out for ChatGPT, and I'm not even tuning in the deep sake or whatever. It's like, whatever, dude, you know.
Yeah.
Still prompting, but
Yeah.
I'll stop with that.
Thank you. Very valuable. Yes.
I'm just glad you're finally writing prompts. It's awesome, dude.
And by the way, there's and Wayne and some of you new folks, you need to bring your brand of, humor and sarcasm and facetiousism, and so otherwise you'll get bored listening to us. So
It's
come bring your
woven in, woven in. Hey, Kim.
Yeah, so I will echo Curtis's statement about, you need to get the tools that you need to do your job. Don't get so distracted by everything new coming out every single day. If you do, you will never be able to move forward. But to Curtis's point, I'm actually working on a deal right now with a company that I cannot find the company, the people who own it, nothing. And I was using Perplexity to do the research today, and I did deep research with them, and it was taking a while.
Wow.
So we're finding that it is churning through not in the split second that we're used to. So now it's, as it's learning to dig deeper into organizations and information, there's some places it still won't go.
Mhm.
But just be patient with it. With Perplexity, you can actually it'll notify you when it's done. So you can go do something else and it'll notify you. But if you're in the pro version, which is what I function off of, and you decide to go into the deep research, that's what I've been using today to try and unveil what I need to know about this company, because my board
Mhm.
members are like, oh, this is great. They're going to do this. And I said, but nobody knows where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do the research today. But to everybody's point, I mean, you're always going to have a Gen AI conversational tool, whether you're using ChatGPT or Claude. Those are probably the two best ones right now. I haven't found Copilot or Gemini to be that as expansive.
Mhm.
But then I use those Perplexity, as you heard. I also use Lumen 5 because it is so quick to actually create those little vignette videos to
Mhm.
actually post really quickly with
What's it
topic and
called?
three. Lumen 5, Lumen 5. I think it's
Okay.
one of the first ones we started to use a while ago. But if you go into it, you can use it for free. You'll see some of, if you're on my LinkedIn post, you'll see some animated things with words. You put in a topic, 3 characteristics of the topic. It comes up with a script and pictures on a format you choose. You can edit it. You can tell you want it 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and it's pretty quick. You can change the pictures out too. So it's a kind of a nice tool to put some animation into your posts quickly versus having to do a video.
When are you doing your training on that, Kim?
You don't need training, Curtis.
All
I could do it right now if you wanted to. It's so simple.
right.
Um, but it's pretty. I would say take a look at Lumen 5. I've used it for people are like, where do you get all your graphics from? And I'm like, oh, I just make them up. Takes like 5-10 minutes. Things that
That's
used to
pretty
take
cool.
marketing like days to get to you.
Mm.
For those of you interested in one I did, go look at my LinkedIn profile, Ignite Your Joy One Spark at a Time. That was done with Lumen 5. Um, you can find mine pretty quickly because I'm a poster, so you'll see that.
What are your VA rates that you're paying these days?
I don't have one.
But you do.
Yeah, myself. Yeah.
No, you have hundreds of hours of work being done by your
Oh,
AI.
oh, absolutely.
You were supposed to
Absolutely.
catch that, Kim. That was
I
like
was not. I'm a little slow today because I have a sick dog, and so he hasn't been sleeping. So that means mom doesn't sleep. So, but
Mhm.
anyway, so the stacks everybody are talking about are the common ones that I use too, including HeyGen. I use Opix Clip for my national speaking, so I have someone record my national whatever topic I'm doing, and I have a couple of legs that I do national speaking on. But with self-care, I use
Mhm.
Opus Clip in order to take that conversation and bring it into shorter clips. So,
You
I have.
know, Descript does that too.
It does. And I was going to say Descript has been a lifesaver for making the video cleaner, and
Hmm.
it's easy. So I know I just rattled off a lot of tools, but it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but then pick a tool that
I
works.
think the best thing you said was you don't have to learn how to use all of them. Just learn how to use what you need to use to do the thing you want to do.
Right. So Steve, you said I should have shut up after my first 2 sentences. So
No, that's not what I said.
we have fun, everybody in this group. Some of us have been around longer than others, but I think just take some time and find the tools you need, to Steve's point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Being really
tag
clear on what your end goal is before you just dive into everything.
Megan.
I had to unsubscribe to a lot of stuff that was coming into my email that was distracting me in the AI arena
Yeah.
so that I pay
Um,
attention to this group. I've paid to be part of this group. It's a high level group. It offers great insight. I can ignore the other stuff. It's hard to ignore. We all have, a lot of us have a lot of FOMO, right?
hmm.
I'm working really hard on ignoring all the other stuff and just learning from this group.
Well, you're
Yeah.
here, so you're doing a good job.
Yes.
And
And just
every tool has its own marketing, and promotion sequence. That's part of
I used
it.
tools last week that I never touched before. I may not touch again, but I needed them for something I was doing. The AI told me, because I asked it, which tool should I use for the next part of this?
Mhm.
What the
right.
heck? I used a tool I had never touched before.
Oh,
Megan, I have
yeah,
a
go ahead.
question. Oh, sorry, Kim. Okay. One thing that I wanted to say as a statement, a comment on top of Kim, but is I have personally a business process management background for 20 years, which means just what are you trying to do? What process are you trying to do? What people are involved and what tools? It's pretty standard kind of business process management. But where I was going with it is one of the things that has exasperated me is Lucid and Visio. I just really haven't found in my experience so far a good workflow uh, tool, meaning to say, map this out for me.
Mhm.
Because if you can't map out what you're trying to do, it's going to be a little hard to figure out what tools to use. So I think if anyone has found like the most amazing workflow, would love to see that at some point. I'm doing it the old-fashioned hard way, and it's a pain in the neck. So anyway, that was it.
Yeah, I do not have any suggestions for you, Curtis. I'm sorry. Maybe Segovia. We'll see you tomorrow and ask that question. Kim, did you have something else that you wanted to add?
I think the only one is if you're doing a lot of writing is to pull up Grammarly.
Mhm.
So Grammarly, if you're in the paid version, will also check for plagiarism and it doesn't sound like AI.
There's actually an AI humanizer tool if you go to explore GPTs in chat
Oh yeah.
and
It
just
doesn't work all the time though, Steve.
no, none of this is 100%. We all know it all hallucinates, that's for sure. But I've seen it reduce it down from like 60% written by AI down to like 11%, which is
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. I agree. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Do we have any newer people on the call who have or who want to share like what tools they're loving right now or that has had the biggest impact for you? Wayne Clayton said that he created a GPT that sounds like Steve Furman. It's very human.
Awesome. I got 11 labs to get my voice down, that and HeyGen. So it was major.
That's awesome. Any newer community members want to share? It's okay. You don't have to be intimidated. You also don't have to share, and you can drop it in the chat
Can
if you
I,
feel
can I
more.
play a 10-second clip for these people?
Yeah, please do.
All right. This is from my book. It's called somewhere here. It's called Just Get Up and Drive. It's about like, resilience and motivation and mindset and all that kind of happy stuff. But I did some excerpts out of it using Descript. And of course, the demo that never played.
Failure is not just inevitable, it's essential. Embracing failure and learning from it is absolutely crucial for growth.
So it's not about avoiding failure.
No,
Yeah.
it's about reframing it, seeing it not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do we actually do that? How do we shift our perspective to see failure as a valuable learning experience?
Well, one key is understanding that success is rarely a straight line.
So that it just basically takes pieces out of the book. I just uploaded my manuscript and I tell the overlord it's called, which is hilarious. I go to the overlord and I say, okay, I want this many clips. And then I can edit the backgrounds and you couldn't see it because I wasn't my screen, but you can have different stuff on it or different captions.
Yeah,
But I
that's
use
very,
it on social media.
that is awesome. It sounded super like you hired somebody to read that for you.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I like about 11 Labs. It has a ton of voices, and Descript just takes whatever you give it. It doesn't care.
Yeah.
So I'll take like a blog, and you go into 11 Labs, and I'll create. There's Gen FM, it's called, I think, where it's podcast, and it'll
Mhm.
create a podcast out of it. And then I'll say, okay, great, take this, put it into Descript, and say, okay, Descript, give me some clips, or
Wow,
Opus Clips, or whatever program you're using.
that is awesome. Frank, hello.
Well, good afternoon, or
Hey.
good morning, or good night, or good evening, depending upon where you are. Yeah, thank you. I normally I do the Zoom meeting, the hand is there, so you just click on it, but I just
It
shows you that
disappears
we don't see
sometimes.
with our eyes.
Yeah.
We only pick up light and then it's interpreted. So anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of new into AI, and so I'm way some of the words and I was trying to like type them out, all the different hygiene, this and that, all those tools. I don't know if anyone can put that in the chat. It would be very,
Yeah.
very helpful. Um, but yeah, no, I'm looking into the deep think. I'm looking into upgrading to Chat GBT plus. I do a lot of training internationally. I deal with high tech clients that are all into AI, um, and a whole bunch of things. And it's almost to me the feeling that if I don't get up to speed on AI, I'm basically illiterate with what's coming out
Yeah.
and the things to be done. And so I'm doing a lot of reading, and of course, I've been using it just as a hey, write me a NDA statement, or I've been using it for stuff I would pay a lawyer for, and I can pull it up. And I have a law degree, but I don't practice law, and I can make the changes myself. I don't need to send it out. And I've also asked them for ideas, all the real basic, say, elementary types of uses. But I want to get educated better with it, and then see how I can't map that back into the what I offer as um, services. My largest client, Salesforce.com, they're really heavy into AI, and they're wanting to take our selling system, which they use exclusively, and then have us be the use all the structure of what we say and do into their AI person, so that they figured out that they can use AI up to about the 20-yard line, the red zone, so to speak, in football, and then a human being can come on because nothing's going to replace that. But 80% of the work in terms of answering the questions and doing that can be done simply by uh, having using AI and doing all the algorithm stuff. And so we're actually helping them put that together. So I'm in the middle of it going, man, I better get up to speed here with that. My partner is a really a super, and I know I'm probably too much on sharing, but I'll leave this last piece.
No, you're fine.
Is a converted Sikh. He grew up in the 60s and said he majored in chemistry, which was he did a lot of LSD. And then finally, when he found his spiritual partner, he converted, and he hasn't shaved now in 60 years and wears a turban and pretty much walks on water in the tech world. And so they're actually going to take his avatar and use that avatar with all our selling system. So I want to get more up to speed on to seeing, what the limits are, what happens with this and that, so that I can be in a better position to know what I'm doing. So that's why I'm here. And
awesome.
And so thank you for letting me share it. And thank you for all the comments and whatnot.
Absolutely. You're in the right place. And we did have some members drop the names of the tools that they suggested in the chat. So make sure you check that out. And I know Curtis, I think, has some thoughts for you on what you shared.
Actually, I was just going to bring up some random unrelated topic to just entertain the crowd. But
okay, well, hold that thought for just a minute. Frank.
No, in all seriousness, I wanted to share one thing with you, Frank, because you're doing a little bit of the intelligent guy who sees all the possibilities. But I think that's interestingly enough, if I might kind of comment, I think Wayne might echo this point, and Steve as well, and Kim, is obviously your most valuable asset is your IP, like what you actually know, right? So If I were in your position and you had to start from ground zero, I might take, kind of your representative IP that you think you want to take on, throw it in a chat GPT, ask it to give you a work plan on how to approach coming up to speed on AI and using these bullets to begin to construct a work plan. And it'll actually put together a reasonable work plan for you, at least for a foundational start. And then kind of really zero in on the IP. Kim said it, a couple other people said it, really focus on what you're trying to do, because you will get distracted on how many cool tools there are that say they're going to do X, Y, Z. So don't do that. And unfortunately, you're going to be like all the rest of us. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be, shiny penny, whatever that is, that expression, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
because you're going to get like oh, I can get there. And you're going to take shortcuts, and then you're going to get frustrated.
Yes.
So some of
Thank
us are
you.
talking about kind of taking use cases and maybe playing offline with each other in the context of just some working sessions and kind of get our head around work plan approach, because that's going to be as important as actually doing the work itself. So that's my 20 cents to save you from working 20 hours a day.
Thank you.
Wayne.
Just want to say welcome to Frank, and actually very familiar with Ganesh and him. I didn't realize, I looked at him and I thought, man, I know that guy. Then I saw the logo and I went, I know that logo. So if you get a chance to go to consciousselling.com, outstanding program. So I was, it's nice. It's the brain was going, wait, okay, that's in a different world I'm in. Hold on, I know this guy. So yeah, the overwhelm is easy to happen, and what they've written in the chat there, if you just focus on those, you're 99%. You're in the red zone, as you talked about. It's just you don't have to worry about the rest of it. The rest of it will show up when it's more important to have happen. You'll hear all about it, and everybody will start talking about it. So I'll let them do the beta testing first, and then I'll move into when it's time for me to do it. So
super. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, and if you the VIP video vault that we have in the community that has the recordings of our classes, you might just browse that under the AI tools, because we've done a lot of previous demonstrations on HeyGen and other things. So you can just kind of scan that and see if anything jumps out to you there as well. But you're in the right place for what your needs are. And is this your first week being here?
Yes, yeah. I don't know if my mic's on.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, super. Yes, it is. And so the best investment this year. And I'm so happy, Wayne, you're familiar with Ganesh, and he's certainly, I say I wouldn't have a partner except a holy man. And he goes, yeah, Frank, I got 2 holes in my ears, 2 holes in my mind. So he's really a wonderful human being, and you can see why, knowing him, why Salesforce wants to have him as the avatar for what they're doing. But great suggestions here. I hope to be a regular here. I don't know what it takes to do that if it's just here, but certainly you guys have my attention.
Awesome. Yeah, I would just come to as many classes that work with your schedule as possible. That's where you'll see these familiar faces throughout the week. And then some of the areas where I mentioned to the community, if you do have a question or you're curious about something and you can't attend a class, that questions and feedback area inside of the community, you're welcome to use that chat, and we'll support you there as well.
Super. And forgive the stupid question. Is that community, there, someone just clicked on the thing. Okay, so that is the community. I go to that website to be able to do the things, look at the videos, do the things, and whatnot. Okay, thank you, Megan.
Here, I'll add this in the chat.
There it is.
And then this VIP video vault down here is where all of our class recordings are.
Wow, look at all that stuff.
And the good thing is the notes that are in here are pretty thorough with what's discussed in the class. So you can scan that to see if a tool stands out to you or there's something that you want to dive into.
What a beautiful thing you guys have created. And of course, all our students and things we've done over the last almost 4.5 decades we get asked this all the time. This would be a great resource for them as well. So thank you.
Well, please feel free to share.
I will. I was just going to say, is it okay to share what my
Well,
experience
Frank,
with
you ought
and I'll
to
even
become
do
an
a LinkedIn.
affiliate and sign them up and bring them on. And
Yeah, I might do a LinkedIn post about this, guys.
I'm gonna
and
add
get it
the
out there because it's you know, as Benioff says, the thing about AI is who's the sheriff, you know, and you know, in terms of regulating all this stuff. So these are some very interesting things. Forgive me for dominating, not dominating, but just talking too much. I'll
no, this I wanted someone
Oh,
and a new person, so I'm more than happy to
Curious,
hear.
Frank, curious, how did you find out about Chief AI Officer?
I think it was it an Instagram maybe or I don't know.
LinkedIn? Did you find a podcast?
Maybe you know, my wife says I'm the goldfish, you know. So I mean, it was in there, boom, gone. So I mean, you know, so I mean, you know, one of those that I saw. I said, hey, that was clever.
They've been doing a lot on LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, then maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. You know, LinkedIn, we trained LinkedIn. In fact, when I first met LinkedIn, they were called Linked Up. And we were sitting around going, hey, it's not up or down. You're either in or you're out. And so they were open to our suggestions, and they changed the name to Linked Up. I LinkedIn and from Linked Up. And
Oh, wow.
so we're very familiar with that. Brian Frank, you know, in the early days and Hop and all those stuff, we were in the garage, you know. So that's probably where I got it because we get, you know, we have a kind of a foundational access inside LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm going to share this link to this page. This is a challenge that we host each week. So the next one is tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, but that's a really good entry point for new people who are interested because you'll get to see what our certification program is like, but then you also get a glimpse at what the community membership is like. So there's different levels that you can join and participate in. But if you do create a post, which we would be grateful if you did, then that would probably be the best link to share. And later on, if you do want to be an affiliate, we do have that option available where you can.
Oh, well, you guys have really thought this out. Wow. So fun to see that.
We are in it to win it.
In it to win it. I love it.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Frank. Thank you.
Likewise. Likewise.
Okay, guys, we have about 10 minutes left. I'm going to go to this next question, and then we'll just see how much time we have left before we wrap up. Elmer, I'm sorry, your hand is raised. Did you have a question?
I just wanted to mention that, you know, everybody, you're taking notes and stuff. Try using Plot or Compass. They're two little remote devices that will take everything that we said and then summarize it for you. So
Yeah.
they're just both great.
Awesome. Thank you.
I use them both. I'm going in between offices all the time. So I just
Mhm.
turn it on so that way nobody can say, oh, I told him to do that. No, it's not there. So that's all.
What are they called again?
Plod is one that I
Okay.
use, and another one is Compass. It's kind of like you can hang it around your neck and just turn it on. It syncs with your phone, and it's
Right.
then you just put summarize, send it to your email, and you got the whole. You have whatever happened for the day. They're both very good.
Cool, cool.
Thank you, Elmer.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay. Where do you want to see your organization's AI strategy in the next 6 to 12 months? So this is whether you own your own business or you work for another organization. What are some of the goals or vision that you have for it in the next 6 to 12 months? And you can drop this in the chat. You can come off mute, whatever feels good for you. Steve, I'm curious to hear what yours are just because I know what you've been, working on recently and the big moves that have been made for you. So are you there that far ahead? Are you still
No, I am. I actually am. I mean, I want my plan for 2025. So it's like a flywheel, you know. I do a ton of marketing on LinkedIn. I do videos, I do blogs. I actually have a marketing team. I have two people that do all this stuff. And I basically, edit it and give them the content, that kind of stuff. But my plans are to have at least 5 paying customers as chief AI officer of varying rates from 5,000 to 12,000 a month by the end of the year. That's my goal.
That's great.
You got to have a lofty goal, man. And right now, what I've been doing is to get the flywheel moving, is I've been doing trainings. So once a month, I give a free workshop. And this week alone, I have three, two
Mm.
workshops in networking groups. And then I have Friday night, I put a post in the winds. Friday night, I have one for a special event of 50 CEOs. I'm going to be speaking in front
That's
of.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my workshop's the 27th next week. So I'm just, I'm putting my name out there as much as possible and basically just trying to educate and give helpful information to people. I'm an affiliate person as well, so I do that too. But
Mhm.
yeah, my goals are to have 5 paying clients. And I get paid, little things for trainings and stuff like that. But I mean like
Yeah.
serious money, like the AI money we should be getting.
Yes. No, I think that that specific between 5K and 12K is um just good to have that specific number in mind as you're collecting clients, because you're always going to find the ones too that don't have that type of budget. And I think sometimes, especially as you're beginning, it's easy to say yes to things like that. And it's okay to say yes to things like that. But if your goal is that bigger earning, then you can't only say yes, to the smaller clients, or you'll also get stuck in
But
that.
you have two options. If you have enough money, you can wait until you get the bigger client.
Mhm.
But if you need to fund yourself or
Yeah,
bootstrap it,
absolutely.
as the entrepreneur world calls it, if you're going to bootstrap your business, then you need to take whatever little wins. If I get $300 an hour, $500 an hour, I'm going to take it
Yeah,
while I'm getting myself to the bigger client.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
Sure. Thanks for putting me on the spot. No problem.
Anytime. Would anyone else like to share what your goals are for the next 6 to 12 months with your AI strategy? Okay.
Frank, you better talk.
Right, you could feel it, right, Kim?
I could
I
That
feel
wasn't
voice.
going
it.
to put him on the spot.
Yeah.
He raised his
Maybe there's
hand,
another
Megan.
Frank. I don't want to make any assumptions. Maybe that was
Let's pick
not
on somebody new,
like the newcomer's the most important part to the
like
group.
Marilyn or Kurt,
I-
or is that Minaya? I don't think I'm saying it right.
Hey, Megan, can
Yeah,
you
it's Minaya.
the
Oh,
whole
Minaya,
the
there
whole
you go.
gallery? Megan, can you just stop sharing so we
Yeah,
can see?
absolutely.
Thank you. Hey, great.
So, Minaya, what's your plans?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm pretty new here. Happy to be here in this call and seeing the atmosphere. It's really fun to be here and learn from all of you. So happy to be here. Um, my strategy. So all right, so I'm actually starting a new position in 2 weeks. So, and as far as I know, they don't really have a AI strategy. They're using AI a little bit here and there, but they don't have a strategy behind. So, my new position is going to be marketing operations, and I'm planning on really from day one, try to bring that thinking in AI mindset to the company because I feel they're gonna need that, and I would love to be that person that is giving them the strategy, helping them build the strategy. But as of today, I can't really say much because I haven't even started. So I don't know what I'm even gonna have to optimize or what are the processes or anything like that. But what I'm planning on is really from day one trying to be that person. I'm actually really excited about that. I actually joined the company with that in mind, knowing that there's no person doing that and that I can become that person. Um,
Cool.
so yeah, trying to learn as much as I can before that. And then once there, we'll take it from there, I guess.
Yeah. That's
So no real strategy.
that's exciting, and that's a good thing to know. I mean, that's that you're starting out that position, keeping that in mind. And if you feel up for sharing as you move through that new position, I'll
Mhm.
be curious to hear how it's received with open arms or what objections you meet along the way, because I think that I hear most from those of us who like know that this is something that's essential that needs to be incorporated into business, is that there's a lot of fear out there. So I would just keep that in mind as you move through it, is like meeting people's objections and fears in a way that supports them and shows them that you don't have to be afraid. It's okay. This can help us. This can compress time. It can, elevate our ideas and our ambitions with the role that you're playing. So that's fabulous. Thank you for sharing. Karen, did you have something you wanted to share?
I was just hoping I could ask the person who shared about Plaude, Plaude, if they're using it with the wearable or if they're able to use it another way.
That was Elmer, and he did mention a wearable, but he
Oh,
also
so he is using the wearable. Okay.
Well, no, I actually
Oh.
use it. I actually did. I have like a credit card that like goes on the back of my phone.
That's flawed, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's
Plaude.
Plaude. Yep, Plaude,
But
Plaude.
Compass, I also use Compass, which is a wearable. And that's just, so I go into different offices, I can just like turn it on and I know what happened for the day. And I don't, at the end of the day, I know everything went on. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, they're both nice.
But don't
Actually,
forget about the
Compass is,
privacy of the people that you're recording. Please.
I'm in New Jersey and it doesn't matter.
Fine in Michigan too.
Jersey.
You have to be
Yes.
careful.
Yes, you have to be aware of the laws in the state you're operating in.
I'm in New Jersey and it's fine. So
it will be fine in Michigan too.
yeah. So they're and it's great because then I get a summary and also the one guy that works for me, I have him wear it too because he forgets a lot, so I know what he did too. So it's good. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Curtis, you have your hand raised. Well, you're still muted.
You're on mute.
Oh, Maya, is that your name a moment ago? I apologize. Minaya?
Minaya. Yeah, Minaya.
So instead of
It's not a very common name, so that's okay. I get called all kind of weird names.
That's
So
all good. So, one of the things that I think for your project is to pick something really small so you don't accidentally get called an AI expert and expectations are suddenly raised through the roof of all these things you're going to solve. Pick a small use case of something that is a pain in the neck. It would make a lot of people happy. And the other thing is, I think just to lay out a strategy, one of the things that I've seen CIOs that kind of talk about how to like lay out your strategy in the context of how you're going to approach your, your work plan, your 30, 60, 90 day. So maybe put a 60-day plan out there. You're going to demo something, put your focus on that. So that's just me, kind of in seeming you're in a great position to do what some wish we could do. So if that makes sense. And then
yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah,
and
100%.
then you hear in the community, you could bring that and say, hey, I'm trying to do X. And 5 of us will say, use this tool, that tool, this tool, do it in this order. And then we'll have to debate who's going to send you the bill for the consultation. I mean, we're still trying to make money. All good.
No, thanks for that. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking. Starting small and trying to build, make a use case. Okay, so if I'm bringing in this tool, why I'm, with measurable impact, like in the ROI for the company, what's the impact it's going to have? Like I believe just by optimizing one of the workflows, you can have
and even something,
huge
honestly,
impact.
I cannot believe how many people they don't like what Megan said at the beginning, Fathom. Are you familiar with Fathom?
Yeah. I'm using Fireflies actually, and I actually wanted to ask you because I had Fireflies join this meeting, but it's not recording. I don't know if it's not.
Yeah.
No, they don't let you. They disconnect that.
Yeah, we don't allow.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is just to say that's a simple use case right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I wanted to share one tool. I dropped it in the chat, but I wanted to share since I'm right here in the call on the spot because it's been super useful for me, and it's called Notice.ai. and it acts like a personal assistant. You have it if you have to use Notion. It's only for people that have Notion for their personal brain hub, and I find it super useful because you have it on your WhatsApp and you can send like a vocal or a text message with instructions, and then Notice take that text and translate it into a task, create a task in your Notion Break Hub. It creates a project. It can do research for you. So whatever you ask them to do, it will do it for you, and then create it inside your Notion Break Hub. And
That Notion
super
with an
useful because
N,
then you
an N or an M?
hmm?
There's motion,
Notice.
MOTION. This
It's
is N.
Notice AI.
Okay.
Notice AI for Notion.
Cool.
Super useful. I find it like it saves me so much time. I ask him to create tasks. Okay, so for today, I need to do this, this, and that, and categorize it into either personal or work. And then ask him to check it off if I've done it already. I don't even need to open my calendar. I ask him to do like a recap of what I have for today. Okay, tell me the tasks that I need to get through today. And then at the end of the day, I ask him to check them off. And does it automatically. Super useful
It sounds a
if you
lot
use
like motion.
Notion.
It's funny. It sounds a lot like
Uh,
MOTION, which is like an
I
overall
don't know that one.
calendar that has tasks, and it also has projects where it'll automatically create projects. But the cool thing is if you miss your task, it'll move it to the next available slot. So just keep reminding you until you get it done, which is kind of cool.
I mean, I think you've been volunteered by Megan. I can see she's thinking maybe next week you're going to do a demo.
I'll let you get more comfortable with the community, but yes, as if you stay around here and you demonstrate your knowledge, I will reach out to you.
Yeah,
To
sure.
share
Happy
with the
to. Happy
community.
to. We all learn from each other. Yeah, for sure.
Oh. Well, thank you for sharing, Manaya, and thank you all for being here today. That is a wrap for our Monday Tools call. This was a special edition. I appreciate you guys playing along with me. We'll be back next Monday at the same time, and then be sure to join Segovia tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, because he will dive into prompting. So if you have more curiosities or questions around how to make the most of your prompts, that is the place to be. And that, as Curtis mentioned and emphasized, that is the way to get the most out of AI tools, is to really sharpen your prompting abilities. But I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you throughout the week in all the classes. Please feel free to message me in Circle if you have any questions, and I will support you however I can. You guys have a great day.